Obi-Wan Kenobi stood on the bridge of the Resolute, arms folded. His calm gaze flicked to Anakin Skywalker, whose eyes blazed with anticipation. Together, they watched as waves of new Separatist Starfighters, sleeker and deadlier than the usual droid models, ripped through the atmosphere. "I must say," Obi-Wan murmured, leaning forward, "these Separatists have acquired a taste for grand entrances. Those vessels aren't standard droid fighters." Anakin shook his head. "No, Master, and they're tearing through our Y-wings like a hot knife through butter. I've never seen anything like them." Obi-Wan glanced at a holographic display, depicting triangular silhouettes swarming Republic positions in the lower orbit. They're older designs, Scarabs and Daggers from the Trade Federation's earliest expansions. How Count Dooku found them and upgraded them to this extent, it's troubling. Anakin's fist tightened. "If they keep hitting us like this, we'll have to withdraw our ground forces. We need a better plan." Just then, a clone officer hurried over. "Generals, we're receiving distress calls. Multiple corvettes have been lost in the past hour." Obi-Wan sighed. "We can't allow Christophsis to fall. Prepare our starfighters. Anakin, you lead the assault in orbit. I'll reinforce our ground troops." Anakin offered a quick salute, a determined light in his eyes. "We'll send those relics to the scrap heap where they belong." Far from the chaotic orbit, a looming Separatist dreadnought drifted in the planet's ring system. Count Dooku's holographic form flickered in the control chamber as General Grievous stood with arms folded. Beside him, a tall, sharp-eyed man in mercenary attire observed the swirling cosmic backdrop. This man was Cavik Toth, infamous leader of the Sabaoth Squadron. He watched droid fighter formations swarm the Republic with the casual air of an artist admiring his masterpiece. "You seem pleased, Toth," Dooku said with an edge of amusement in his silky voice. "Christophsis is only the first step." Toth offered a small bow. "My squadron and I will dismantle the Republic's lines. These Scarabs and Daggers have been refitted with superior shielding and weaponry. Outdated designs can be lethal if used wisely." General Grievous turned, amber eyes glinting in the low light. "We shall see. Do not fail me. If your tactics falter, the price will be your head." Toth merely smirked. "Failure is not part of my vocabulary. Once Christophsis falls, we'll push deeper into the mid-rim. And then," he gestured to a hologram of Kamino, "we can strike the very heart of the Republic's army." Count Dooku inclined his head. "Just ensure you remember our bargain." On Christophsis, translucent crystals dotted the horizon, and the cityscape shimmered under the scorching sun. With the makeshift command post, Jedi Master Mace Windu surveyed a holomap of the conflict zones. Clones bustled around him, relaying messages and coordinating strikes. "Master Cody," Mace said quietly to the clone officer at his side. "These older designs, Scarab and Dagger starfighters, are hitting our supply lines. We need anti-air reinforcements near the southern approach." Cody nodded. "Yes, General, but we're pinned down by flanking maneuver teams. Our ground convoys are taking heavy losses." Mace pointed to a corridor between two crystal spires on the map. "We'll funnel them here, where the crystals obstruct their flight paths. If we can cluster them in tighter spaces, our ground batteries will have better odds." Nearby, a female clone officer, Lieutenant Veron, tapped a datapad. "General, local inhabitants are fleeing. Where should we direct the refugees?" Mace looked at her, jaw set in determination. "Have them move underground, into the lower tunnels. Secure them behind sealed blasted doors, and watch for infiltration teams. The Separatists might send droids below." Lieutenant Veron saluted, stepping away to organize the evacuation. High above, in the Resolute's hangar, chaos reigned as mechanics scrambled to refuel starships. Anakin stood with Ahsoka Tano by his side. He glanced out at the swirling dogfights visible beyond the atmospheric shield. "I never expected to see Scarab fighters in modern battle," Ahsoka said, hands on her hips. "They were considered experimental prototypes. Now they're driving our pilots out of the sky." Anakin exhaled, pushing down a flicker of annoyance. "They've had serious upgrades. Count Dooku must be throwing credits at whoever is supplying these. There's no shortage of mercenaries willing to help him." Obi-Wan stepped over, his robe trailing behind him. "You'll be in command of our starfighter response, Anakin. I'll remain on the ground with Master Windu to assist Cody. We suspect a mercenary force called Sabaoth Squadron is involved. Their leader, Cavik Toth, is notoriously ruthless. Anakin's eyes glinted. He'll meet his match soon enough. Obi-Wan raised a brow, the corners of his mouth quirking. Just remember, we need you alive to keep winning these battles. I wouldn't dream of missing the fun, Anakin replied, a half smile tugging at his lips. Ahsoka shot him a wry look. As the Starfighters burned trails across the sky, Jedi Master Plo Koon led Ahsoka through the subterranean tunnels beneath Christophsis. Refugees huddled along the corridors, illuminated by sporadic ceiling lights. The smell of damp minerals and stale air clung to every surface. Do you sense that? Ahsoka asked, voice hushed. There's something mechanical ahead. Plo Koon nodded, his breath filtered through his protective mask. Droids, most likely. We must be prepared. They crept along a narrow passage until an entire squad of B-2 super battle droids lurched into view. Blaster fire erupted, echoing off the tunnel walls. Ahsoka's green lightsabers flared, deflecting a volley of red bolts, while Plo Koon moved with calm precision, sending droid parts clattering to the ground. When the corridor fell silent, Ahsoka exhaled. They're pushing deeper into the tunnels. That indicates a greater infiltration strategy, said Plo Koon. We should seal off these passages and protect the civilians. Ahsoka nodded, wiping sweat from her brow. We can't let them swarm the people down here. Let's regroup with Master Windu once we clear this sector. Back aboard the Resolute, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, and Anakin gathered in the tactical briefing room for a transmission from Master Yoda on Coruscant. Holographic lines shimmered around them, detailing the ongoing battles. Troubling this is, Master Yoda said, ears twitching. Revived older machines are. Mercenaries too. Complicate matters. We suspect Cavik Toth plans a strike on Kamino. If he destroys the cloning facilities, it would cripple our clone production, and the Republic would suffer enormous losses. We can't abandon Christophsis either. The Separatists are firmly entrenched, and the local population is in peril. Divide our forces we must. One remains on Christophsis, another to Kamino we send. You'll handle Christophsis with Plo Koon. Anakin, you and Mace will take half our fleet to Kamino. I'll return to Coruscant and coordinate reinforcements from there. Anakin frowned. But how many men can we spare for Kamino? As many as we can, Obi-Wan said softly, but not so many that Christophsis is lost. I understand, Anakin replied, his determination growing. Rex and I will stand guard over Kamino. Toth won't know what hit him. Lightning laced the skies of Kamino as platforms rose from the endless storm-tossed ocean. Tipoca City stood amidst sheets of rain and howling wind. Anakin stood on a rain-slick landing pad with Captain Rex and Ahsoka at his side. Multiple hyperspace signatures inbound, Rex reported, his helmet visor shining wet with the rain. It has to be the Separatists. Then let's greet them. Rex, get the troopers on the perimeter. Ahsoka, stay close to me in case Toth tries anything bold. Ahsoka pulled her cloak tight, squinting through the downpour. I'll try not to slip off the edge of a walkway. Weather here is worse than a Tatooine sandstorm. I'd rather deal with this rain than another day in that heat. Overhead, bright green laser fires split the gloom as Scarab and Dagger fighters dove through swirling storm clouds. Anakin blared across the platform. The ocean below churned with the debris of crashed craft. Then, the massive silhouette of Sabaoth's flagship emerged, accompanied by lumbering Trade Federation gunboats reminiscent of battles past. Cavik Toth's chilling voice crackled over wideband comms. Kamino, your defenses are impressive, but insufficient. Surrender or be destroyed. Anakin rolled his eyes at Ahsoka, raising his comm. We don't do surrenders, Toth. Enjoy the storm. Soon, Republic Arc 170 starfighters soared upward to meet the mercenary onslaught. A brutal dogfight ensued in the tempestuous clouds. While the battle raged, squads of B-2 super battle droids and Sabaoth mercenaries breached Tipoca City's lower corridors. Amid sterile white walls and gently humming cloning capsules, Lieutenant Zara Jovis, Toth's right hand, led a team intent on destroying the gene archives. Secure the data vault first, she ordered, then wipe the facility clean. A cluster of clone troopers pinned behind a console returned blaster fire. One shouted, "You're not destroying anything on Kamino." Zara sneered, unleashing a barrage that forced the clones back. Before she could advance, Ahsoka Tano vaulted through the corridor, lightsabers blazing. With a fierce cry, she deflected bolts and closed the gap. I hope you're good at more than speeches, Ahsoka said, smirking, because I'm not going anywhere. Zara brandished twin vibroblades. Jedi or not, you'll die like the rest. She lunged, sparks flying as metal met plasma. The corridor echoed with the hum of swirling blades. Ahsoka's eyes narrowed. Your dance moves aren't half bad, but you're messing with the wrong city. They clashed again, each strike sending chips of floor plating skittering away. At last, Ahsoka spun, using the force to shove Zara into a damaged computer bank. Gasping, the mercenary dropped her blades. Clone troopers rushed in, capturing her. Meanwhile, on a rain-lashed platform above the city, Anakin and Cavik Toth dueled in Starfighters. Toth's custom Sabaoth craft wove gracefully through the storm, chasing Anakin's Jedi Starfighter with red laser lances. Your reflexes are impressive, Skywalker, Toth snarled over comms, but you're outmatched. Anakin cut his engines for half a breath, letting Toth's fighter overshoot. He unleashed a volley that crippled Toth's stabilizer. No one outmatches me, Toth, Anakin retorted, especially not someone still living in the past. Toth's fighter spun out of control, trailing smoke and fire. At the last instant, he ejected, a parachute billowing as he plummeted toward a storm-battered landing pad. Wind whipped across the platform where Cavik Toth landed, water rolling in sheets. Clones encircled him at blaster points. Lightning flickered across the sky, illuminating his bitter glare as he clutched a blaster pistol. Anakin stepped forward, lightsaber ignited. That's enough, Toth. You're under arrest for war crimes against the Republic. Stand down. Toth spat on the drenched floor, drops of rain pelting his face. You've won only a single battle, Jedi. The galaxy will see who truly holds power. And you'll see a Republic prison cell. Deactivating his saber once clone snapped binders on Toth's wrists. The mercenary tried one last snarl, but it was lost beneath a thunderclap. Inside Tipoca City's corridors, Ahsoka caught her breath, regarding the captive Zara Jovis. The mercenary glowered, refusing to speak. You might have credits, Ahsoka said softly, but no amount of money can buy you free from galactic justice. Zara merely scowled as troopers led her away. Days later, the downpour on Kamino ebbed to a gentler rainfall. On a raised platform, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and Anakin Skywalker conferred with the elongated form of a Kaminoan prime minister. Ahsoka stood nearby, quietly reflecting on the toll of the battles. We are deeply grateful for your intervention, said the Kaminoan, blowing gracefully. Were it not for the Jedi, Kamino might now lie in ruins. The Grand Army of the Republic stands because of your contributions. We protect Kamino as much as we protect any other system. Obi-Wan gave a faint nod of agreement. With Toth in custody, the mercenaries will scatter. The older war machines he reactivated won't catch us off guard again. Anakin placed a hand on Ahsoka's shoulder. We saved Kamino, but the fighting's far from over. Toth's infiltration proves the Separatists are always searching for forgotten weapons. Ahsoka gazed out over the endless horizon of rain and ocean. And I guess we'll always be ready. Obi-Wan managed a weary smile. We will. As long as we hold together, the Republic can withstand anything, even the ghost of wars long past. In the days that followed, word of the Sabaoth Squadron's defeat spread through the Republic. Though older machines had nearly blindsided the Jedi, the combined resilience of Republic forces turned the tide. Christophsis stood liberated from Separatist clutches, and Kamino's precious cloning facilities remained functional. Yet, the war churned on. Count Dooku's ambitions rose unabated, and whisperings of new alliances grew louder. Anakin Skywalker's name circulated among clone regiments, hailing his exploits and fearless piloting. But each skirmish, no matter how triumphant, carved new scars. In the swirling depths of hyperspace, the Separatist fleet sailed on toward its next scheme. But for now, the galaxy knew a brief respite, earned at great cost and daring. If older designs could be made new and deadly, then who could say what else might be resurrected in the shadows? Such was the legacy of the Sabaoth Squadron's involvement. A fleeting reign of terror, swiftly undone, but never truly forgotten. Thank you for listening to this tale of what if the Sabaoth Squadron and Old Republic-era forces joined the Clone Wars. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. May the Force be with you, always.